Imagine if there is a power, or at least a pair of glasses, that can tell you whether your partner is cheating on you. Whether behind your back, they are secretly seeing someone else. In Korea, they're said to be a strange pair of glasses. When you put them on and look at someone, you see red strings floating above their head. Each string shows how many close or intimate relationships that person has. But the big questions are, who created these glasses and why? Will they help people or curse their lives? To find out, let's dive into the Korean drama S-Line. One morning, Lucy wakes up to the loud sound of car horns. She opens her window and looks outside. She sees her neighbor, a girl on her way to school. In the car beside her is a man telling the girl to get in, but she ignores him and keeps walking. Turns out, the man is Henry, a police officer, and the girl is his niece, Siona. For some reason, Siona really dislikes her uncle. Lucy notices something strange. Above Siona's head, there's a single red line, but above Henry's head, there are many red lines. A little later, Lucy looks at the building across the street. A girl is standing there and Lucy sees several red lines above her head too. That girl even waves at Lucy. But Lucy suffers from social anxiety. She can't interact with people, so she just shuts the window. Now, what exactly are these red lines? This is Lucy's strange power. She is born with it. Whenever she looks at someone, she can see how many close or intimate relationships that person has. Each red line is a signal of one relationship. She has named them S-lines, which stand for social, sex, and secret. If someone has 5 S-lines, it means they've been intimate with 5 people. And if 2 people's S-lines are connected, it means they're in a relationship. But Lucy sees this ability as a curse. Because of it, she had to suffer a huge loss in childhood. As a child, Lucy noticed her father had several S-lines, not only connected to her mom, but also to her aunt. Not understanding what it meant back then, she drew it in her sketchbook. One day, her mother saw the drawings. Her mother already knew Lucy is a special child, so she quickly realized what the drawings meant. Furious at her husband's betrayal, she killed him and then ran away, leaving Lucy an orphan. That trauma scarred Lucy for life. She even tried to end her cursed existence many times by jumping from tall buildings, cutting her wrists, but she never died. That's because Lucy has another power of self-healing. No matter how severe her wounds, they heal within moments, so her every suicide attempt failed. Eventually, Lucy decided that she won't stop until she uncovers the truth behind this strange power. She wants to know where it came from and whether she's the only one who has it. While Lucy is lost in thought, her doorbell suddenly rings. She looks through the peephole and sees the neighbor girl from the building across the street standing there. The girl keeps calling her, but Lucy doesn't open the door. From outside, the girl says, "I just moved into the building across from you. I don't have any friends here, so I came to be your friend." She even brought fruit for Lucy. Since Lucy never opens the door, the girl leaves the bag of fruit by the door and walks away. After she leaves, Lucy takes the fruit inside and starts eating them. Meanwhile at school, Siona is once again bullied by her classmates. The leader of the bullies, Kim, often demands money from her. If she doesn't pay, they beat her up. That day too, Siona gets badly beaten. Even though her uncle Henry is a police officer, she never tells him anything because, as mentioned earlier, she doesn't like him. At the same time, Henry is investigating a murder case. A man wearing a helmet has become the main suspect. The night before, someone with a helmet had entered the apartment building. Henry now decides to track him down. This murder has happened in one of the buildings near Lucy's. But since Lucy never goes outside, she doesn't know anything about it. That night, Lucy notices that the neighbor girl has once again left fruit for her. While eating the fruit, she watches TV and sees the news about the murder. On the screen, behind the reporter, a helmeted man is shown entering the apartment. Lucy notices that the man has only one S-line above his head. In this day and age, it feels strange to her that someone would have just one line. Later that night, Lucy hears the sound of a motorcycle. She looks out her window and sees the same helmeted man entering the neighbor girl's building. This man also has only one S-line. Lucy suspects he might be the killer. She quickly tries to call the police, but her phone battery is dead. She charges it just enough to turn it on and dials emergency. By then, the man has already gone into the girl's apartment. From her window, Lucy has a clear view inside. Just as she starts telling the police about the helmeted man, she suddenly sees the man man and the girl becoming intimate. A new red S-line appears above his head and connects to the girl's. Realizing her mistake, Lucy hangs up. The next day, Henry comes home and notices that Siona didn't go to school. When he asks her about it, she ignores him and asks for money instead. Even after he gives her some, she demands more, which surprises Henry. Henry notices bruises on her hand and jaw. When he asks about them, Siona refuses to answer, goes to her room and locks the door. Frustrated, Henry goes to the balcony to smoke. Just then, his colleague calls and says, "Last night a girl called us about a helmeted suspect, but we haven't leaked to the media yet that the police are investigating the helmeted man." So how did she know? They tracked the call and found that the girl lives in the building next to Henry's, meaning Lucy and Henry are neighbors. Henry immediately goes to Lucy's apartment and knocks on her door. Lucy looks through the peephole and sees Henry standing outside. Above his head, she sees countless S-lines, more than she's ever seen on anyone. While Henry keeps calling out to her, Lucy's upstairs neighbor walks by and tells him, "It's useless knocking." She never opens the door except to take parcels. But Henry doesn't give up. He knocks again and says loudly, "I'm with the police. I have come to talk about last night's phone call." Lucy opens the door just a little and tells him she had seen a man wearing a helmet entering the building next door. His behavior made her think he might be the killer. But later, when she realized he was with his girlfriend, she understood they were a couple. Lucy apologizes to Henry for calling by mistake. At that time, Lucy is still a teenager. She should have been in school now, so Henry asks her why she is at home, but Lucy doesn't answer. Instead, she slams the door shut. That night, the helmeted man comes to Lucy's building. Hearing noises, she looks through the peephole. The man is walking away but suddenly stops, turns back and stares directly at the peephole, as if he knows Lucy is watching. Lucy is terrified, but luckily he doesn't harm her. Meanwhile, Henry and his colleague James are discussing the case. James reveals that the victim's ex-boyfriend Paul lives in a nearby building, the same building from where Lucy had made her call. Hearing this, Henry asks to see Paul's photo. To his shock, Paul is the same man Henry had seen earlier that day outside Lucy's apartment. Paul actually lives in the apartment right above Lucy's. This makes Henry's suspicion even stronger. Henry and James decides to go investigate Paul's place. Just then, Henry gets a phone call, so he tells James to go ahead alone while he goes to the hospital where his father has been admitted. Henry's father is suffering from mental issues, and the hospital informed him that his father had gone missing. Henry rushes to the rooftop and sees his father standing on the ledge. Strangely, Henry secretly wishes his father would jump. But before that could happen, the staff arrive and pull him down. Henry feels deeply disappointed. Meanwhile, James enters Paul's apartment and finds the door unlocked. Inside, he searches and discovers ropes, helmets, and other suspicious items. Realizing something is wrong, he quickly calls Henry, but by then, Paul returns. He overpowers James, ties him up, and puts on his helmet and glasses before leaving. From her window, Lucy sees Paul again. This time, only one S-line hovers above his head. But the last time, when he was with his girlfriend, he had two. Lucy knows that when someone's partner dies, one of their S-lines disappears. That convinces her that Paul is the killer. Paul then goes straight to the neighbor girl's apartment. Lucy suspects the girl is in danger. Desperate to save her, Lucy grabs a knife and forces herself to step out since she hasn't been out in so long. She can barely walk and the outside world makes her feel dizzy. Eventually, she collapses. After a while, she regains some strength and reaches the neighbor's apartment, only to find Paul strangling the girl. Lucy stands there trembling, holding the knife, but Paul doesn't panic. Instead, he calmly snatches the knife from her hands and stabs her in the stomach. Then he turns back to finish killing the girl. By then, Henry arrives outside. He finds a pair of black sunglasses lying on the ground. He picks them up and enters Lucy's building. On his way to Paul's apartment, he notices Lucy's door is open and steps inside. To his surprise, he finds Lucy's room full of research about S-lines. Looking out her window, Henry sees Paul strangling the girl. At the last moment, Lucy crawls over and stabs Paul in the leg, saving the girl. Furious, Paul tries to kill Lucy again, but Henry shoots him dead. Before dying, Paul mutters something about the red S-line disappearing. That's when Lucy realizes Paul can also see the S-lines. She guesses the glasses he wears have the power to reveal them, because earlier when they fell, Paul panicked. But when Paul's body is taken away, the glasses aren't aren't on him. Later, after things calm down, Henry returns the sunglasses to Lucy, the same ones he found outside. At that moment, Siona walks in and asks Lucy, "Why are you wearing sunglasses in the middle of the night?" The truth is, Lucy wears them, so she won't have to see the S-lines above people's heads. Later at home, Henry asks Siona how she knows Lucy. Siona explains they went to middle school together. She also tells Henry about Lucy's parents' tragic story. Meanwhile, Lucy is reflecting. The S-lines she once considered a curse helped her save someone's life. For the first time, she feels peace and satisfaction. Just then, Lucy receives a message from an unknown number. It reads, "I can see the S-lines too. If you want to talk, meet me at Arc High School." Lucy thinks about it for a long time before deciding to return to a normal life. Her room has always been messy, with cardboard covering every window so no sunlight can enter. That day, she removes all the boards, cleans up the room, and organizes her space. On the other side, Siona goes to school and discovers that Kim has found a new way to bully her. Since Siona was absent the day before, they broke into her locker and found a love letter. Now Kim and the others mock her about it. But this time, Siona can't take it anymore. She jumps on Kim and starts hitting her wildly. The two fight hard, with Siona also getting beaten badly. Their teacher, Ms. Annabelle, comes in and stops the fight. She scolds Siona, telling her that being violent is wrong and gives her a lecture in the office. Siona doesn't like the lecture at all, so she leaves early and goes home. Before leaving, she notices something strange. A pair of glasses has been placed inside her empty locker. Out of curiosity, Siona takes the glasses home. Meanwhile, Henry and James are discussing Paul's case. They can't figure out Paul's motive for killing, so Henry goes back to Paul's apartment and carefully checks the room. This time, he notices many red lines scratched on the wall, but he has no idea why Paul drew them. After that, Henry returns home. At the same time, Siona tries on the glasses she found in her locker. The moment she puts them on and stands in front of the mirror, she is shocked. A red line appears above her head, but when she touches it with her hand, nothing is there. She realizes the line is invisible. Hearing Henry's footsteps outside, she comes out of her room. But when she sees countless red lines above Henry's head, she screams in fear and runs outside. On the street, she notices almost everyone has red lines above their heads. Some have fewer, some have many. Soon she figures it out. The lines show how many people someone has been intimate with. Now her fear fades, and instead, she finds the discovery fascinating. The next day, she wears the glasses to school. With them, she can see how many relationships her classmates have had. Then she notices Kim. Two S-lines come out of Kim's head, and one of them is connected to someone inside the school. Following it, she sees that it connects to their Korean language teacher, Matthew. That means Kim has a secret affair with a teacher. Later in class, the teacher introduces a new student, and it's Lucy. She has re-enrolled in school. After class, on the rooftop, Kim starts bullying Siona again. She slaps her once, and Siona's glasses fall to the ground. But Siona doesn't panic. She calmly picks them up and puts them back on. When Kim tries to slap her a second time, Siona grabs her hand and says she will never give her money again. As Kim tries to force her, Lucy arrives and blocks her. A fight breaks out between Kim and Lucy. Kim threatens to push Lucy off the roof, but Lucy grabs her by the collar and says, "Okay, fine. Let's both fall and die together." Lucy already knows she won't die, but Kim is terrified. Out of fear, Kim runs away instead of fighting further. Even though Lucy helps her, Siona doesn't thank her. Instead, she scolds Lucy and says she had no business interfering. She warns Lucy not to get involved in her matters again. Meanwhile, Henry keeps digging into Paul's details. In several photos, he notices Paul wearing glasses. But Henry remembers there were no glasses on Paul's body when they recovered it. He checks the evidence box too, but finds nothing. He also learns that Paul once worked as a math teacher at Arc High School, which is Siona's school, so Henry goes there to investigate. At the school, he meets Ms. Annabelle and asks if Paul used to wear glasses, but Annabelle doesn't give him any useful answer. When Henry finishes questioning and heads out, Siona spots him. Shocked, she says to herself, "What is he doing here at my school?" Henry goes to a bar at night for investigation. Paul used to drink there regularly. When Henry asks the bartender about Paul, he says Paul's behavior was normal before, but in the last few days, Paul started acting strange. He talked to himself and counted 1, 2, 3, 4 by looking at people's head. When Henry asks about glasses, the bartender says, "Paul started wearing a pair recently." Finally, Henry gets an important clue. Meanwhile, after school, Siona follows Kim. Soon Kim secretly meets teacher Matthew, and they enter a lodge together. together. Siona quickly takes their photos together. She sends one to Kim and tries to blackmail her. But Kim doesn't panic. She says, "I'm still underage, so nothing will happen to me. The teacher will get punished, not me." Hearing this, Siona feels disappointed. But right after, she comes up with another plan. She sends the photo to Matthew instead and demands 20 million. Frightened, Matthew scolds Kim the next day at school. But Kim stays calm and ignores him. Still, in her mind she keeps wondering, how does Siona know about their relationship? She decides to keep an eye on her. In the following days, Siona uses the glass's power to expose several couples' secrets, creating fights between them. Seeing this, Lucy starts suspecting her. One day, while both are in the restroom, Lucy asks Siona, "You didn't use to wear glasses before, so why now?" When Siona tries to lie, Lucy catches her and asks, "You can see the red lines through these glasses, can't you?" Siona is shocked and asks if Lucy can also see them. Lucy says yes and proves her that she really does see the lines. When Lucy pushes her, Siona admits she found the glasses in her locker. Lucy warns her that the glasses are dangerous and Paul died because of them. She says they must find out who made them. But Siona isn't interested at all. She's just happy to have the glasses and ignores Lucy's warning. That night, Siona spends time with her boyfriend. Suddenly, she gets a message from Matthew telling her to come to the school rooftop at midnight to collect the money. Since it's still early, Siona continues hanging out with her boyfriend, not realizing that Kim is secretly following her. Earlier in the restroom, Kim overheard the conversation between Siona and Lucy. Now she also knows about the glasses. Waiting for a chance, Kim steals the glasses from Siona. When she puts them on, she also sees the S-lines above people's heads. Now Kim enjoys it a lot too, but suddenly someone hits her on the back of the head and Kim faints. Meanwhile, when Siona can't find her glasses, she assumes Lucy has stolen them. She angrily calls Lucy and says, "I'm going to school right now. When I come back, I will come to you." Then she hangs up. But Lucy wonders, what is Siona doing at school so late at night? Curious, she leaves home to find out. On the other hand, Siona goes up to the rooftop and sees Teacher Matthew waiting there. He begs her, saying he doesn't have 20 million to give. If the photo leaks, his life will be ruined. Siona replies, "When Kim and the others bullied me, you stayed silent. Now you must understand how much I suffered back then." As they talk, Matthew suddenly gets a message from his wife. Someone has sent her the photo and exposed the affair. Matthew becomes furious at Siona and starts to struggle with her. By this time, Lucy also reaches the school. She sees something falling from the rooftop. In a second, the object lands right in front of her, and it's Siona. Lucy notices that the red S-line above Siona's head is still visible. That means Siona is still alive. She quickly takes her to the hospital. A little later, Henry arrives after hearing the news. He asks Lucy what she was doing at school so late. Lucy explains she came looking for Siona because Siona told her over the phone that she was going there. When Henry asks what happened at the school, Lucy says she doesn't know the details, but she is sure Siona didn't try to commit suicide. The next day, the incident causes an uproar among the teachers. They believe Siona tried to kill herself because she couldn't endure the bullying. Lucy goes to school and notices that both Matthew and Kim are absent. She goes straight to the rooftop to figure out how Siona fell, but finds no answers. At that moment, a girl named Olivia comes to support her and says she also believes Siona didn't commit suicide. As they walk and talk, Lucy spots a boy wearing glasses. She quickly grabs them and checks, but they are just normal glasses. Meanwhile, teacher Liam finds a pair of glasses on his desk. He asks Annabelle about them, but she says she doesn't know who left them there. Liam puts them back on the desk and goes back to work. Later, out of curiosity, he tries them on and is completely shocked. He can see red lines above almost all his colleagues' heads. Confused, he wonders what is happening. Just then, Henry enters the staff room to inquire about Siona's case. Seeing hundreds of red lines above Henry's head, Liam panics and quickly takes the glasses off. Henry shows Annabelle a photo of a boy and asks about him. He says Siona was with this boy on a date last night. Then Henry brings the boy in for questioning. At first, the boy denies everything, but later he admits the truth. He says they were having a good time, but when they entered a photo booth, Siona started acting strange. She became restless, saying something of hers was missing from her bag, and then ran off. To confirm the boy's story, Henry checks the CCTV footage of the booth. In the video, he sees Kim stealing something from Siona's bag before leaving. Henry then checks nearby CCTV cameras and spots Kim walking into an alley. After that, her trace disappears. Later after school, Liam goes to stay at his sister's house. He used to live with his girlfriend and they were preparing for marriage. But recently, he caught her being intimate with another man. Because of that, he left the apartment and moved to his sister's place. He also plans to go abroad in a few days, so he wants to stay with his his sister until then. This is actually his first time visiting after her marriage, and the first time he meets his brother-in-law. First, Liam feels uneasy about staying there, but his sister assures him that her husband is often away for business, sometimes for weeks, so Liam won't be bothered. Anyway, Liam still has the glasses with him. When he wears them, he sees several S-lines above his brother-in-law's head. He now understands that the lines reveal how many relationships someone has had. Instantly, he learns the truth about his brother-in-law's character. After that, while taking the elevator down, Liam notices that one of his brother-in-law's S-lines connects to someone on the 4th floor. Later, when they go back up, his brother-in-law accidentally presses the button for the 4th floor instead of the 10th floor. Liam then feels sure that the guy has something going on with someone there. Even though his brother-in-law quickly presses the button for the 10th floor, Liam secretly presses the 4th floor button again. When the elevator door opens at the 4th floor, Liam sees his brother-in-law's S-line connecting straight to an apartment in the corner. But that day, Liam doesn't confront him. The next day, after hanging out with his sister and niece, Liam sees a parcel left in front of their apartment. But it's not theirs, it belongs to apartment 401. Liam takes it there and realizes it's the same apartment where the young woman lives, whom his brother-in-law is seeing. Soon he sees the girl return home while talking on the phone. It sounds like the person on the other side of the call is the one who sent her the parcel. To learn her identity, Liam checks the mailbox and finds her name, Hazel. Later, Liam goes back to his sister's apartment. That day is their mother's death anniversary, so Liam, his sister, and his niece pray together. During dinner, Liam asks his sister if she is happy in her marriage. She says yes and only says good things about her husband. So Liam decides not to tell her about his affair, not wanting to hurt her. The next day, chaos breaks out at school. Someone uploads pictures of teacher Matthew and Kim to the school website, exposing their relationship. Gossip spreads everywhere. Soon after, teacher Matthew's dead body is found in his car in the school parking lot with a suicide note. The note says he kills himself out of shame because people now know about his relationship with Kim. But during investigation, Henry feels it's not suicide. The body looks at least 3 days old, but the scandal only comes out today. So the note doesn't match the timeline. Henry suspects someone else is behind his death. After finishing the investigation, Henry waits outside the school. When Lucy leaves after school, Henry takes her into his car. On the way, Henry asks Lucy how she is so sure Siona was going to the school that night. Lucy doesn't answer directly. Instead, she says, "Did you notice Siona was wearing glasses the past few days? If you can find me those glasses, I'll tell you everything." Then Lucy leaves the car. Meanwhile, Liam continues following his brother-in-law. He sees him go into a fancy restaurant. Liam sneaks in and watches as his brother-in-law dines with Hazel and gifts her an expensive necklace. After dinner, they go into a hotel room together. Liam catches them red-handed, pulls his brother-in-law aside, and demands to know why he has cheated on his sister. The man apologizes and promises to end the relationship with Hazel and live properly with his wife. Liam leaves after giving him an ultimatum. The next day, Liam has a flight to Canada. After saying goodbye to his sister, he goes to school one last time. While waiting to head to the airport, he checks Hazel's social media. He sees a post of the same necklace his brother-in-law gave her. Then he notices another shocking post. Hazel claims she is pregnant. Furious, Liam rushes back home to confront his brother-in-law. But when he reaches the building, he sees a fight is already happening. His sister is ramming Hazel's car with her own. Liam runs to calm her down. His brother-in-law arrives too, but instead of going to his wife, he runs to Hazel and asks if she is okay. This makes Liam even angrier and he punches him. His sister stops him and tells him not to fight. After the man takes Hazel inside, Liam's sister reveals the truth. "He is not my husband. Hazel is his real wife. I am just his mistress. I've been with him under this condition all along." Liam is shocked and speechless hearing all this. He tried to protect his sister, but instead, he has ended up hurting her more. Meanwhile, Henry keeps reading teacher Matthew's suicide note. Then it hits him, if Siona really tried to commit suicide, she should also have a note. He rushes to her room to search. He doesn't find a note, but he discovers a notebook full of sketches where Siona draws people's heads with many red lines above them. Henry takes the notebook to Lucy and asks if this has something to do with the special glasses. Lucy admits the lines are called S-lines. The more relationships someone has, the more lines appear when you wear those glasses. But Lucy confesses she doesn't need glasses. She is born with this ability. At first, Henry doesn't believe her, but seeing her confidence, he can't fully deny it either. A few days later, Lucy dozes off in class. Siona is still in a coma after her accident. In her dream, Lucy sees Siona's S-line fade away, meaning she is dying. Lucy wakes wakes up in shock. Her friends June and Olivia ask why she fell asleep. Lucy says she is tired because she works part-time at a hotel reception at night. By now, the gossip about Siona, teacher Matthew and Kim has died down and school life feels normal again. One day, teacher Miss Camilla makes a mistake in a file and gets scolded by the senior teacher. Interestingly, Camilla also has a pair of glasses that can see S-lines. Angry after being scolded, Camilla vents her frustration by pressing a stapler non-stop. Whenever she is stressed or mad, she presses a stapler repeatedly. At lunch, Camilla sits with other staff in the canteen. The school's music teacher enters, a very handsome man. Everyone whispers about him, but Camilla stays quiet, even though she secretly likes him. Camilla dreams of becoming an actress, but her home is too small for practicing. Even a little noise bothers the neighbors. So every night, she books room 206 at a hotel to practice acting until morning. And that hotel is the same one where Lucy works. That evening, Camilla comes to the hotel as usual, takes the key for room 206, and goes inside. Coincidentally, June and Olivia also come to visit Lucy and sit with her at the reception. They notice that everyone checks in as couples, but this woman comes alone. Curious, Olivia peeks and sees Camilla. She looks familiar, but since Camilla wears a disguise, Olivia doesn't recognize her as their teacher. In the room, Camilla throws herself onto the bed and starts practicing her lines. The next morning, Lucy, Olivia, and June stand on the rooftop. They see Camilla walking down the street and finally recognize her as their teacher. Meanwhile, Henry digs into Lucy's background. He even finds her parents' case file. After learning what happened to them, Henry feels convinced that Lucy was telling the truth about the S-lines. Later, he meets Lucy and asks her if she can see any S-line above Siona's head. Even though Lucy doesn't want to leak anyone's privacy, Henry realizes Siona has S-line above her head, so he asks Lucy who Siona's S-line is connected to. Lucy says she doesn't know who it connects to, but she is sure it's not connected to anyone from their school. Henry starts to suspect maybe Siona's boyfriend has tried to kill her. Back home, Lucy lies in bed and watches the news on TV. She sees that another murder has happened in the city and the killer is caught. But while being taken away, the killer shows no regret. He wears glasses and stares at people's heads while smiling strangely. Lucy immediately understands he also has glasses that can see S-lines. That means there are multiple copies of this special glasses. The next day after school, Lucy is about to leave when John asks her to hang out. John secretly likes Lucy. Though Lucy doesn't notice, still she agrees to go with him. John takes her to a swimming club. Standing by the pool, he asks if she knows how to swim. Lucy says no, then suddenly jumps into the water. After a long time, when she doesn't come up, John panics. He dives in to save her, but Lucy bursts out laughing. For the first time in a long while, she laughs freely. When she comes out, her clothes are soaked, so John takes off his sweater and covers her back. Later, they sit together and eat ramen. During the meal, Lucy tells John about her ability to see S-lines. To her surprise, John doesn't react, he just believes her completely. Lucy feels amazed, and later at home, she can't stop thinking about him. His face keeps coming to her mind, making her blush. The next day, Lucy goes to her hotel job as usual. Miss Camilla also comes to the hotel like every day. For her, this hotel is a safe place where she can do whatever she wants. In fact, in room 206, she once found the glasses that can see S-lines. There's also a hole in the wall of that room through which she can see into the next room. Couples often use that room, and Camilla enjoys spying on them. This time, she hears sounds again and peeks through the hole, only to be shocked. It's her crush, the music teacher. She is overjoyed, but soon another woman enters and becomes intimate with him. Seeing her crush with someone else drives Camilla crazy. She can't accept it. Before leaving, the girl says she will come back tomorrow. Camilla hears this and decides to stay longer. The next day, before the girl arrives, Camilla makes a plan. She secretly puts sleeping pills into the teacher's water bottle and waits with a cylinder in her hand. When the girl comes, Camilla hits her on the head, ties her up in her own room, and then disguises herself as the girl. She goes into the music teacher's room, but he recognizes her immediately and tries to ignore her. Camilla, furious, throws her stapler at him. It hits the back of his head, wounding him. By then, the sleeping pills also take effect and the teacher collapses unconscious. Camilla lifts him onto the bed and tries to get intimate with him, But soon she notices the bed is soaked with blood. His head injury keeps bleeding heavily. Even then, she climbs on him, desperate to fulfill her desire. But eventually the teacher dies. Now Camilla is filled with regret. She sits in the bathtub and repeatedly stabs herself with the stapler. A little later, Lucy passes by room 206 and hears noises. She rushes in and finds the teacher's girlfriend tied up. After freeing her, the girl tells Lucy everything. Lucy then finds the teacher dead on the bed and Camilla dead in the bathtub. When the police are called, Henry arrives to investigate. Lucy tells him that Miss Camilla also had glasses that can see S-lines. She saw them with her own eyes. She believes this murder also happens under the influence of the glasses. The most dangerous thing about them is that anyone who wears them starts to feel extremely special, and that false sense of being special drives them mentally insane. But at the crime scene, the glasses are nowhere to be found. That night, Henry goes back alone to the hotel room. He drains all the water from the bathtub and finds a pair of glasses inside. When he puts them on and stands in front of the mirror, he sees the S-lines above his own head for the first time. Shocked, he keeps staring at his reflection. Now Henry starts seeing S-lines above everyone's head. He brings in the boy who was dating Siona on the night of her accident, wanting to know if they had a physical relationship. But he sees that Siona's S-line and the boy's S-line are not connected. This makes Henry certain they didn't have sex that night. Meanwhile, Lucy is chatting with John. Her birthday is coming on November 1st, and they are talking about her birthday plans. Suddenly, Lucy gets a text from an unknown number. The message wishes her a happy birthday and says, "I can also see the world you see. Come to the school rooftop on your birthday night." Lucy feels shocked by this. At the police bureau, a girl from Lucy's school named Sophia files a complaint. She says last week she went for drinks at her friend Daniel's house. After a while, she lost consciousness. But when she woke up, she felt like she had been raped. When asked if she had any sexual experience before, Sophia says no. But Henry notices something strange. Through the glasses, he sees 4 S-lines above Sophia's head. That means she is lying about not having any intimate relationship prior to the accident. The next day, Henry and James go to the school to investigate. First, they meet Madame Annabelle. Henry notices she has no S-line above her head at all. After some greetings, Henry asks to meet Daniel. When Annabelle calls him, Henry starts questioning him. Henry sees only 1 S-line above Daniel's head. When Henry brings up Sophia's accusation, Daniel completely denies it. Since they are still inside the school, Henry doesn't press him further and decides to leave. On the way out, Henry runs into Lucy. Lucy sees the glasses on Henry's face and realizes it's the special glasses. She gets angry, saying the glasses are very dangerous and demands he give them to her. But Henry avoids giving them back and makes excuses. As they argue, suddenly Madame Annabelle shows up, and Lucy storms away in frustration. Henry also says goodbye to Annabelle and leaves. But at that moment, Annabelle looks at Henry and, with her bare eyes, she can see the S-lines above his head. That means Annabelle also has the strange ability to see S-lines without glasses. Later after school, both Sophia and Daniel are brought to the bureau and questioned separately. Daniel shows them the text messages from Sophia, which clearly prove she willingly went to his house. But Sophia has already deleted those messages from her own phone. This makes Henry even more suspicious that she is lying. On top of that, Sophia's mother has washed the clothes she wore that night, so DNA evidence can't be collected. Since there is no proof against Daniel, he is released. As he leaves, Henry closely observes him and Sophia. Even when they stand near each other, their S-lines don't connect. This confirms to Henry that Sophia's accusation is false, so he decides to dismiss the case. That evening, when Henry heads home after work, Lucy stops him and asks why he went to her school today. Henry explains that a girl from her school named Sophia accused Daniel of rape, but their S-lines don't connect. Sophia already has 4 S-lines above her head. That's why Henry suspects she makes a false accusation. When Lucy hears this, she says Sophia is in her class, and until just a week ago, Sophia had no S-lines at all. Hearing that, Henry realizes something strange is going on, so he and James go straight to Daniel's house. Using interrogation as an excuse, Henry carefully checks Daniel's room. Then he goes outside and searches the apartment's garbage bin. Inside, he finds something wrapped in plastic. When he finds a bedsheet in garbage bin, Henry immediately sends it to forensics. James asks how Henry even thought of checking for the bedsheet bedsheet. Henry explains that Daniel's room looks perfectly neat, but the bedsheet on his bed didn't match. That made him suspicious. Since Daniel threw it away, he must be hiding something. Still, Henry can't figure out why Daniel and Sophia's S-lines are not connected. A few days later, the DNA report comes back and they call Daniel in again. As usual, Daniel denies everything. Then they ask him why Sophia's blood is on his bedsheet. Daniel already has an answer ready. He says maybe her nose bled while she was sleeping, or maybe it was her period. His explanation sounds logical, so they still don't have strong enough evidence to charge him. Henry and James then check the CCTV footage from that day. In one video, Daniel is seen entering with 4 friends. In another video, those 4 friends are seen leaving. From this, Henry realizes the 4 friends are the ones who did it. Meanwhile, Lucy is at school. She sees Sophia walking into class while the same 4 boys are coming down the stairs. Lucy notices Sophia's S-lines are connected to those 4 boys. She instantly understands they are the ones who raped her. Lucy quickly calls Henry, but Henry is already at the school. The 4 boys are brought in for questioning. After heavy pressure, they confess that they all raped Sophia together. But they say the mastermind behind everything is Daniel. He arranged everything for them in exchange for money. He didn't do it himself, but enjoyed watching them commit the crime. With their confession, Daniel is arrested too. At his house, they also find a small vial of drugs used to make Sophia unconscious. With this evidence, the crime is finally proven. But just as Henry closes this case, another problem comes up. The hospital reports that his father is missing. Henry checks the security footage and sees someone leading his father out. Shockingly, that person is Madame Annabelle. At the same time, Henry receives a photo of Siona on his phone. Alarmed, he rushes to the hospital where Siona is admitted. Luckily, Siona is still there, but then Henry notices something strange. Siona's S-line is connecting to someone. Moments later, his father walks into the room. Henry is shocked to see his father there, but he is even more horrified when he sees Siona's S-line connect with his father's. Henry finally understands the one who raped Siona is his own father. Henry explodes in rage and hits him. He can't believe anyone could do this to his own granddaughter. But this is the harsh reality. Meanwhile, a girl named Mia works in a coffee shop. One day, she suddenly receives a video on her phone. It's a recording of her being intimate. Watching this, she is stunned. The next day at college, she sees the video has already gone viral. Humiliated, Mia leaves and loses the will to live. She walks toward the road, planning to kill herself. Just as she's about to jump in front of a car, Madame Annabelle stops her. Annabelle gives Mia a pair of S-line glasses and says it will change her life, helping her see the world differently. This shows that Annabelle is the one distributing these glasses to people. Meanwhile, Lucy sits on the roadside. Midnight is almost here, and once the clock strikes 12, it will be her birthday. She wants to celebrate the moment with John. Soon John arrives, and they check into a hotel together. Neither Lucy nor John has any experience being intimate before. Since they both like each other, Lucy decides to share her first time with John. They become close, and after their intimacy, a new S-line appears above Lucy's head, connecting with John's. After their fun, they head back. On the way, John leaves Lucy for a while to buy a cake. While waiting alone, Lucy gets bored and stands in front of a mirror, staring at her new S-line. Suddenly, Lucy notices her S-line fading away. At that moment, she hears noise nearby and runs over. She sees John lying on the ground covered in blood, with the birthday cake beside him. While John is bringing the cake back, a heavy billboard falls from above and crashes onto his head. The metal rods pierce through his body, killing him instantly. Lucy kneels beside John and cries. The same hands she just used to caress him are now covered in his blood. After the shock passes, Lucy sits alone and cries a lot. Then she receives a video on her phone. It shows her friend Olivia tied up, and with the video comes a message: "Happy birthday, Lucy. Come to the school hall tonight." Lucy immediately calls Henry for help. Soon both of them arrive at the school. They split up to search for Olivia. Lucy eventually finds her tied up in a room and rescues her. But when they try to leave, something strange happens. No matter how many times they go down the stairs, they end up back on the same floor. It's like they are trapped in a maze. So they decide to head straight to the rooftop. The same thing happens to Henry, so he also ends up on the rooftop. But when Henry arrives, he suddenly enters a strange new world, the world of the glasses. There, all the people who use the glasses stand in a line, and in front of them is Mia. Now Mia tells her life story. When she first gets the glasses, she has many S-lines above her head, each reminding her of past regrets. To erase them, she starts killing the people she was once intimate with. Every time they die, her S-lines decrease, and she feels satisfied. Now only one person remains. A man is lying under a sheet in front of her. Mia lifts the sheet and beheads him in one strike, laughing like a maniac. Here, Henry witnesses all of this. Soon, Madame Annabelle appears before everyone. On the table, another man is lying down, and it's Henry's father. Henry rushes forward to save him, but Annabelle says, "If you want to save Siona, you must kill your father." She hands Henry a knife, but Henry tries to stab Annabelle instead. Annabelle grabs his hand, snatches the knife, and pushes him away. Then she kills Henry's father herself. Henry pulls out his gun and shoots all his bullets at her, but Annabelle is unharmed. She grabs Henry by the throat, lifts him into the air, and strangles him. Meanwhile, on the rooftop, Olivia's behavior suddenly changes. Lucy sees Olivia take a pair of glasses from her pocket and put them on. Lucy asks where she got them. Olivia says Madame Annabelle gave them to her. When Lucy tries to snatch them away, Olivia attacks her. During their struggle, Lucy manages to pull off the glasses and throw them to the ground, breaking them. The moment the glasses shatter, Olivia returns to normal and doesn't even remember why she is on the rooftop. During the fight, Lucy's cheek gets slightly cut. Strangely, the drops of blood that fall from her wound don't go downward, they float upward. Shocked, Lucy stares at them. As she does, she suddenly enters the glasses world and sees Annabelle still strangling Henry. Lucy screams for her to let him go. Annabelle throws Henry aside, leaving him unconscious. Annabelle tells Lucy, "You always wondered why you were born with this strange power. You always saw it as a curse. But today, you will know your true purpose. Your power is a blessing that will help the world." Annabelle raises her knife and strikes at Lucy. But before the blade reaches her, another woman jumps in front and takes the wound. Lucy realizes it is her mother. Her mother was also a glasses user. Her mother tells her, "When I saw your drawing, I didn't learn about your father and Aunt's affair from it. I already had one of these glasses. I saw the S-line between them myself. So stop blaming yourself for that incident." After saying this, Lucy's mother dies. Lucy stands up, but Annabelle stabs her in the stomach. Lucy's blood starts floating upward, and with a wave of Annabelle's hand, Lucy herself begins rising into the air. Lucy's blood gathers together and forms a glowing red sphere. After all her blood drains out, she collapses and becomes unconscious. Annabelle laughs and says, "In exchange for your death, people of this world will now receive special powers. With this power, everyone will be able to see the S-lines with their naked eyes." With a wave of her hand, Annabelle makes the red sphere explode, spreading across the entire sky. At that moment, Lucy regains consciousness and stabs Annabelle in the stomach. But even then, Annabelle laughs and says, "You're too late. I've already completed my mission." With those words, Annabelle dies. As soon as Annabelle dies, all the other glasses users return to normal and start panicking. Henry also wakes up, and within moments, they all return to the real world. While walking out of the school and down the street, Lucy and Henry see the sky completely filled with S-lines. People everywhere stare at the sky in shock, wondering what is happening. Within moments, they all gain the ability to see S-lines, creating chaos and fear. But soon, people begin to adapt. To hide their true selves, many start wearing masks and helmets because once someone sees your S-lines, they can read your character. Lucy once wished to live in a normal world. Back then, only she could see S-lines and it made her feel abnormal. But now that everyone can see them, this world feels normal to her. By this time, Siona has fully recovered and returns to school. Her relationship with Henry is good again. One day, Lucy goes to John's memorial to place flowers. After all, John was her first love. As Lucy stands in front of the memorial, she suddenly hears someone calling her name. At first, she thinks it's just her imagination, but then she hears it again several times, yet no one is around. Suddenly, Annabelle appears, bringing her face close to Lucy's ear and whispering her name. And by showing this, the story of this series comes to an end. So, dear viewers, after watching this series, what do you think? Is the power to see S-lines truly a blessing, or is it a curse? We look forward to hearing your thoughts. Share your opinion in the comments below. We'll be back soon with a brand new story. Until then, take care.